back. It's Lily with you today with a very special guest, Luis from Creed Bullies Kennel. Luis, say hi to everyone.
Yeah, all right, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for being with us today, Luis. Luis is from Northeast UK and is here with us today to talk about his kennel and his vision for the breeding program. But before we jump into it, please make sure to download the Bully Girl app to have access to more episodes and Bully Breed content. And now we can get into it. How are you doing today, Luis?
I'm good. It's a nice day. It's just having a relaxed weekend.
Yeah. Okay, I guess you are ready to talk about your kennel then. Let's start from the very beginning. How did it all start and what's the reason behind your love and passion towards dogs?
Well, my partner's had dogs all her life, and I've never had a dog until we rescued our first dog, who's a boxer cross. And he's been a lot of work, but it's just made me love dogs more and more. But
Yeah,
he's 10
and
now,
how
and
was it? How long are you into this?
about 8 years now, I think, we got our first dog.
Oh, wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, well, we're new to the breeding side of things, but we've had dogs for about 8 years now. And my partner's had
Okay,
dogs
and
all of her life.
you and your partner are doing it, or you have any other help?
No, it's just me and the partner.
That's beautiful. Okay, and maybe you can show one of your puppies you have, or one of your dogs.
Come here, Ken. Come here. Up. Get up. Come. Turn around. Up.
Okay. Okay, I guess not very camera friendly then, or he is.
He just
Yeah,
wants
he
a
is.
treat. But that's
Okay,
Kenji.
I see.
He's our youngest. But he's only 14 months.
Okay, that's sweet. Okay, what type of dogs do you breed, and what inspired you to get involved with that particular breed?
We'll be breeding XL bullies. And to be honest, I don't know. They're just great dogs. They're dead loyal, dead friendly. Too much negative stigma about them at the minute, I think. But both of ours are friendly as you like, no matter who meets them, no matter what kids, dogs. They're just super friendly. But yeah, they're just big, lovable rogues.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna speak about the kind of stereotypes, in a minute. But for now, I would like to know: do you test your dogs for genetic health conditions, and if yes, what type of tests do you perform?
Well, at the minute, we've had Kenji tested, and we got the results back about 2-3 weeks ago, but that was with Wisdom Panel Health Testing. And they do it was a premium one that's like 264 different health tests, and he came back clear on every one of them. So it's a good start for the little stud. And he'll be getting his hip and elbows scored in the next few weeks, months.
Okay. And what is your favorite bloodline, Lewis?
It's a tough one, to be honest, because there's loads of different, obviously, with all the variations of them all, they've all got their own individual little traits. But we like alpha dogs. They're good dogs, and Viet Shark. Uh, I like bossy dogs as well, to be honest. They've got their own characteristics. They're quite tall, but yeah, I like most dogs. I don't have a
Then
massive
you'll
favourite.
like all types of dogs in that case. Okay, what do you do to socialize your puppies and prepare them for their new homes?
Well, we haven't actually had any pups yet. Our first breeding's going to be happening in about 4 months-ish.
Okay.
So, but to be honest, we've got friends with kids and things like that as well, so they can obviously come round, and we're going to have them environmentally used to things like all the noises of the hoovers and the bangs and the loudness, but it's just prepping it early.
I see. And do you have any games maybe for them?
To be honest, I'll have to look into that truthfully, because we haven't, like I say, we haven't actually had any breedings yet, so it's all going to be new to us.
Okay, I see. So you said you are 8 years in this, but you are pretty new in breeding, yes?
Yeah. It's like Kenji's had a couple of studs up to now, but obviously we don't have part in the pups on that side of things, so
Okay,
yeah, our female will be getting bred in February.
I see, Lewis. And you mentioned about some stereotypes and misconceptions about the bully breed, and how do you address them with, how would you address them with the potential puppy buyers?
I think it's all about training from the start, to be honest. I think too many people buy these dogs and they just shop them in a kennel and then expect them to be social when, if you don't be around dogs or people and children, they've got no way of learning to actually be around them. So with both of ours, have both been around kids, other dogs, and plenty of people because we live in an estate. So when they're walking, they're always seeing people. So, and being the type of dogs they are, they're very standout. So people want to come and say hello. So I think that has helped where everyone has that thing of wanting to see them. So he gets the used to being around everyone, and we take them to the town centres and stuff like that. So they're around the busyness. But like I say, I think it's just training from the beginning is the main input of it all. If you don't train them, they're never going to learn.
Yeah, that's totally makes sense. Okay, and um, what are the characteristics of a responsible dog breeder, in your opinion?
Health testing, to be honest, is probably the biggest one, and that I feel like in this breed it is quite minimal. But like you're saying, health testing's key, to be honest, because if you don't health test, you won't know if you're passing on bad genetics.
Mhm. Okay, and what type of diet do you keep your dogs on?
All of our dogs are raw fed; they're just on like raw completes. But that's it. We don't feed kibble or anything like that. They just eat raw and the bits of additives, leak little supplements here and there. Only natural,
Hmm.
nothing.
So don't you use any particular brand of food for dogs?
The brand we use is called Sunderland Raw, but it's literally just like a raw complete, and they have various different proteins available.
Hmm. And how many times a day do you feed your dogs, Louis?
We feed them twice, morning and night. We just like split the daily intake into 2 meals.
I see. Okay, and how do you keep your dogs in shape throughout the year?
Just exercise, to be honest. We do a lot of tug of war to obviously build up a bit of strength on them and stuff, and just the play side of it, I think they enjoy. But they get walked every day, twice a day. Do about what 4 or 5 miles a day usually between them. But we'll go out together. They'll go out separate. We always take them different places, different gradients and stuff up and down the hills and on the beaches.
Okay,
But we are quite
that's beautiful.
lucky for where we live because we're 10-minute drive away from the beach, so they can get there quite frequently.
Yeah, then lucky them, lucky you, lucky them.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's imagine. I mean, you mentioned that you are new in the breeding part, but I'm sure you have figured out some type of algorithm for the purchasing of a dog from your kennel. Walk us through the whole process from start to finish, please.
What was the beginning bit you said? I misheard you.
Yeah, walk us through the process of purchasing a puppy from your kennel from start to finish, please.
Well, truthfully, we're wanting to like, what's the word? Like vet them, but not. We want to like do checks on the owners that I want to be buying off them. We don't particularly want to just sell to any Tom, Dick, and Harry, like because that's why I think a lot of this breed's getting negative stigma because people are getting buying dogs and they're not actually checking who they're going to. So
Okay.
there's only so much you can do. Obviously people can lie and things like that, but I'd rather be selling to people who have got experience in big dogs, not someone that's had a Chihuahua and then they're going to all of a sudden have a 55, 60 kilo dog on the end of a lead that they can't control. So I think it's just trying to be responsible to who they go to. But yeah, just responsibility is key, really. But
Yeah, it makes sense. And how do you imagine the checking process? Would you have talks, or how do you imagine to get to know the purchase, the buyer?
well, like you say, it's just through talking to people, I suppose, being able to sit there and have if they live local, being able to come round, see where they live, so you can see if they've got the space and things like that, or asking about their family, because if you've got 5 young kids running around and then having a puppy involved, you don't know what could potentially happen and go wrong through kids being annoying and the dog biting when the pup's in a teething phase and things like that, and just general ownership. Obviously, if they've never had a dog before, they're not going to necessarily know what they're getting into. Like the first dog we got was a rescue, and he really doesn't like dogs, so we've had to work really hard over the years to actually get him comfortable and around us and know that he can trust us. But a lot of people don't realise how much work goes into it.
Yeah, and that sounds like a very inspiring story. Can you tell us more about the rescue dog and actually how you managed to socialize it?
Well, we got him through a friend. Well, I say a friend. She wasn't really looking after him, and he was just getting left. But when we finally took him, it's like he's just flourished, really, hasn't he? Like, can't really show you, but that's him there now, giving Kenji a bath. But
Okay.
yeah, it's just building trust with him, I think. Like, he's not really aggressive, he's just really nervous around people and things like that. Like, he still now has that moment if he doesn't know people, he gets a bit nervous still, but he knows the difference in the social cues of what he should be doing and what he shouldn't be doing now. Like, which, like I said, it took years and years to actually drill that into him because he was like 3-year-old when we got him. So it was just perfect. Practice makes perfect, I suppose. Like, but he's a good egg. He's 10 now. He's getting on, but
Yeah.
in his
And I
forever
guess
home.
you're part of your family now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Couldn't get rid of him.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story, Luis. Thanks for sharing. Now, let's imagine that you got a buyer, they got the dog, and then for some reason there is a return. How do you imagine handling returns or rehoming of the puppies?
To be honest, I don't have an issue. Like, obviously, I'd much rather them come back to me than them go back to the pound and stuff because I can obviously try and find them a new home if needs be. But if worst case scenario, he can stay here with us, oh, the cheek. Like, we're always happy to look after dogs. That's what That's what we're here for. If it wasn't for us, the dogs would be struggling.
I see. And do you currently prepare any of your dogs for a show?
Hershey, our female, yes, she's in the process of being trained for showing. No. But Kenji's a bit. He's not a bit young. He's just very boisterous. So he's still getting used to being calm and not being all excited. But our girl is. She's very close to getting there. To be honest, I think we're going to enter the next show we have in our local area.
That's amazing. And is it you who trains or you have someone else to train?
No, we've just done it all ourselves. Like me and my partner. She put loads of effort in when she was young, and it's just all paid off. To be honest, like I say, she's just calm. She's great. Well, she's just. I'd go and get her, but I don't know where she's gone. I think she's in the other room.
Yeah. Okay, I see that like she is actually the one who is the reason behind all of this, but we don't see her. Maybe at some point she will join. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go on, get her. I'll go and grab her. Oh, Chloe's gonna go and grab her now and see if she'll come over.
yeah, that's sweet. Thank you.
But yeah, she was the first dog we've bought. So, but she's
Okay.
got a poorly
Yes.
foot at the minute because her and Kenji were running around on the field and he knocked her over. But I'm sure she'll limp along in.
Yeah, that's fine. We can keep going until she joins.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you have any advice for any upcoming breeders, Luis? As someone who is pretty new in the breeding process, what do you think? What are the most challenging parts, and how would you advise to overcome them?
Uh, this is Percy.
Oh, hey.
Can't get any closer to your chargers in. Where are you?
Okay.
Oh. So it's reset up. But yeah, advice wise, I think a lot of it would just be health testing your dogs more, to be honest, and making sure they're well trained and well behaved. Just too many people seem to just not put the effort in. But
Okay. Okay, Luis. And what do you think? What are the main challenges in the bully game in general nowadays, and how do you handle them?
I think, to be honest, it's a negative stigma because the people that don't own bully, anyone who owns a bully knows what they're like and knows how lovable they are and that they are just big friendly giants. But there's people that don't, and they're seeing all this crap in the newspapers and the news to just saying how they're big vicious dogs that are bred to kill, and they're just not. Like, I think it's trying to educate people in the right way and not being stuck up about it and stuff. But yeah, it's just been about responsible ownership and making sure that people are getting buying dogs have the ability to be responsible and not just going to shut them in a cage for a year and then bring them out after a year and try to think that they can go around and be sociable instantly and off the leads and stuff like that. Like, when it's just not really the case. Because if we've got no recall, they shouldn't be off the lead realistically.
I see your point. Do you collaborate with any other kennels?
We haven't up until now. Like the breeding we're doing, I suppose, is somewhat a collaboration with a kennel page called the Free Bullies and their dog Bailey. That's who Hershey's going to be bred with.
Okay. Okay, who is, or maybe which kennel is the most inspiring in the game for you right now, and why?
Probably the two that probably come to mind is Bully Lair, the one that have got Enzo, and Howard Sparta Bullies. Well, Howard from Sparta Bullies, sorry, because he's a very helpful person. To be honest, he's always asking, like, answering people's questions and making people aware of what's happening, and he's very open about his kennel.
Okay. Okay, Lewis, tell us about one of your main goals for 2023.
23 probably shows, to be honest. Like, I think we want to get Hershey in there and get her in the ring and see where she can get up to.
Okay, and how do you prepare? Could you tell us more? How do you prepare? How many hours in a week or in a day do you train?
I think with Hershey, to be honest, it's just every day whenever we can. It's not like something we set times for and things like that. She's just out on walks and things like that. We'll stack her into position and get her to do little ring walky type things around even in the park and stuff like that, just so she knows what she should be doing, really. Just trying to put that effort in.
I see. Okay, Lewis, describe how you would want things to be in the bully community 10 years from now.
Yeah, better owners, I think, I suppose, where people are putting the effort in and that. And like I say, it doesn't even have to be for shows. It's just people actually training the dog and not just having them as an ornament, per se. But I think too many people do think that they're just cash cows as well, when they're not. Like, not every dog should be bred at the end of the day. There's plenty out there where they might have slight things wrong with them and maybe they shouldn't be bred, but people do it anyway because they want some money. Whereas, to be honest, I'm not even that interested in the money, truthfully. I just want to create a lovely dog for family purposes and being able to go up the shows and stuff like that if they wanted to.
I see your point. And what do you think? How can this, like, money part, I think is attractive for anyone, for anything we put our time on. So how do you address to kind of, have both the money and the appropriate approach?
Not really sure. You got anything on that? It's just like you said, it's just responsible breeding mainly, like, and having a vision and not just breeding for the sake of it. Like, if you've actually got a vision in mind to go to and breed to, and then opens up more avenues down the line. But I think, like you say, it's having a vision and not just breeding for the sake of it.
Okay, I see. What separates or what will separate your kennel from the rest, from the competition, Luis?
I think the fact that we don't want to breed unless, like you say, health testing's key. I think too many people aren't health testing and stuff, and it is a big necessity, especially in this breed, because they've got such a mass genetic makeup and they pull things from here, there, and everywhere from the various dogs that have been put into them over the years. But I think, like you say, it's just health, temperament, and being able to just create the perfect dog.
Okay. And what is the perfect dog for you?
A healthy, perfect structured, perfectly built, with plenty of mass and a big fat head, I think is what we'd like to create.
Yeah, that's a nice vision. And what other hobbies or interests do you have?
Just, I think, to be honest, it's just dogs, dogs, and dogs. I don't really do a lot else other than dogs.
Okay, so it's like your full-time job.
Yeah, practically. It's like we have
Okay,
3, and that's a lot. But I know there's probably going to be more in the future, so.
yeah,
But it's just
I'm
something I
sure
look
there will
forward
be.
to. I
Is
like to say,
there anything? Yeah.
I was going to say, we plan on keeping one of Hershey's daughters when she gets bred, so then we can put Hershey's daughter to Kenji in the future, so we can have like a full in-house breeding. But until that'll be a couple of years down the line once everything goes together.
Okay. Is there anything you would like to see added to Bully Girl magazine in the future?
I'm not really sure on that one, to be honest. I don't know, to be honest.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you for your time and for your experience with dogs and with the kennel now. Thank you, Louis.